Hello, and welcome to Your Recipe for Financial Success with me, Emma, and today I have a very special guest with me. In each episode, we'll be bringing you a list of ingredients to help you cook up a storm and master methods to finesse your finances. We'll be helping you expand your repertoire and hopefully teach you a few new skills along the way. So clear the counters and get your mixing bowls ready for today's recipe. Let's get started. In this week's episode, I'm talking to Emma Roache, Unlocking Your Full Potential, and we'll be taking the heat out of your money worries post-lockdown. So you may remember Emma from our launch party. She told you a little bit about herself then, but I've got her here today, and I'm wondering, Emma, can you tell us a little bit more about you today?
I certainly can. Thank you for having me.
Very good.
It's exciting to be on one of these with you. So I'm Emma Roache and Unlocking Your Full Potential, and I help people to be happier and have better relationships in life and business. And I'm a professional certified coach, which is something I'm quite proud of. It took me a lot of time to train and to get to that point, and spent lots of hours doing that. And yeah, and I help lots of different people with all different things like confidence, self-esteem, managing stress and anxiety, which is obviously at this moment quite a big topic for us.
It certainly is. So can you tell me, Emma, what's your earliest memory of money?
Okay, so I've got a funny story. So one of my first memories of money is when I was little. I used to often find money on the street.
Right.
And I got told this story, and then I was on the bus home one day with my mum and my little brother, and maybe my granddad. I don't know if he was there or not, but he definitely thinks this story is funny. And I'd found like a £1 note on the floor because I'm that old. We used to have £1 notes in them days, and it had a rip in it.
Right.
So I threw it out the window. So I was like, "Oh, that's no good. It's got a rip in it," and I threw it out the window.
Oh wow!
So that's one of my earliest money memories.
Just throwing money away.
Yeah.
Hope you don't do the same anymore.
No. Oh, dear.
Good story. I like that one.
Yeah.
So what is it that made you get into coaching in the first place?
Okay, so I don't know how much you know really. I had quite a challenging childhood and found myself homeless at 16,
Right.
which was quite challenging. And I've pretty much been on my own ever since. So I don't have family to support me. And I've overcome lots of challenges, and I worked in financial services like you guys for a little while. And then I left that and I went to work as an outreach worker for a not-for-profit in Norwich.
Right.
Supporting women actually improve their economic lives. It's part of the local economic growth initiative.
You're going back to your roots then.
Yeah, going back to my roots. And basically during that time I was helping women in Norwich, and it sounds a bit sexist, but it wasn't sexist at all. It was pro-women, not anti-men. Yeah. Because many of our women we worked with had suffered domestic violence and such like. So, and we helped them to get back into the workplace and things like that. So, and as a part of that, I got to train to be a coach, and I just loved it, and it just really suited me. And that was all the way back in 2007 I started doing that. So I've been doing it a long time, and I just really love it. I love helping people. And I don't know if you know, I've got a social enterprise as well where I help people who are a bit like I was when I was 16, or those similar groups who are vulnerable. And I help them to unlock their full potential, you know, and to be happier, which
Sounds
is my
like
goal.
You're always busy and on the go.
Yeah.
Never stop.
Yeah.
So why do you think that money is such a big source of stress and anxiety basically in today's world?
In this world, at this moment, I think there's so much anxiety and stress around it because there's so much uncertainty, and a lot of the things that we have in our lives to keep us safe are not there at the moment. So we have I studied this in my degree as well, actually. So like security can be like lots of things: financial health, you know, your physical security, and all these different things, and all of those are unsettled at the moment. We don't have that sense of security, and then we've also got worries around our jobs being safe, or whether our income is going to continue because of the current situation. And I think many people are stressing about that and feeling quite anxious right now.
So it's probably an obvious question to some people, but do you think the media help with this stress?
I think the media, and social media particularly, doesn't always help, no. And I think it doesn't help with our overall stress and well-being, whether that's money related or not, because we often have this thing where we see people and they're living this wonderful life and it's all amazing, and we think, oh my God, everyone's coping so much better than we are. But actually that's not the full story. And I do talk about that quite a lot. When we're judging ourselves against others, and that could be financially, or it could be just overall well-being, stress and anxiety and how we're coping with things. But that's only a little snippet. We don't generally, some people do, but not everyone posts all the bad stuff on their concerns and their worries and their fears. But you'd be surprised how many people have them in the background. So no, I don't think media helps. And I limit my interaction with media.
Yeah. So do you think it's also an issue that people don't talk about it? So you say some people will post everything and other people don't say anything. Is that a problem on its own?
Yeah, I think so. I think people don't like admitting that they might need some extra support, or they might be worrying about, particularly, I know we're talking about finances today. People feel, I think particularly as well in the UK, we don't want people to judge us or think badly of us. So we don't want to say, I'm a bit worried about money, or I'm a bit worried about this, or I'm feeling stressed or anxious. You want to put on that
brave face almost.
The brave face, of saying, yeah, I'm okay, I'm doing well, thank you. And I think there's a place for that. And I think sometimes we can make ourselves feel better by pretending, fake it till you make it kind of thing.
Never heard that saying. I like that one.
I use it with my clients sometimes, because if they're not feeling confident, I'm like, okay, what would it be like if you did feel confident? And, and you can fake it till you make it. And the more you appear as confident, the more you feel confident. And that sometimes can work. But I think it's really important to feel comfortable to be able to reach out and ask for support or guidance, and that's where things like this are really useful, because people can access it without actually having to say anything if they don't want to.
Yeah, they can just listen in and kind of take some advice from it themselves.
But actually what I find is, particularly in what I do, people don't want to open up their whole fears and worries and concerns. But when they do, then the transformation is huge. And then they wish they'd done it sooner. And I'm all about being happy and finding happiness, and actually that comes from confidence and security and all those little things. And actually feeling happy and being more confident can make you more successful.
Yeah,
it can help you to get that next job or to get that new client and things like that. And so it is all really linked.
I think just being around you as well is going to help, because you've got this kind of aura about you that makes people happy and bubbly.
You.
So
that's my goal.
Very good. So as we now start to return to a new normal, and people are obviously facing these issues, whether it may be loss of job or reduced income, what would you suggest is a good way to kind of start helping themselves through that?
Yeah. So I think one thing that we can do, so when everything around us feels so out of control, what we need to do is start looking at things that we can control. And I think that's really important. So what can we do to help ourselves? What can we do to, so maybe reduce our spending? I know you've got a podcast about that as well, budgeting. I think that's really important, particularly right now, not spending on things we don't need to. It's just managing what we can do. So what can we control? I've just written a blog about social anxiety. People are worried about going out. People are worried maybe about going back to work or to go and meet clients. And it's about making that as safe as we can for that individual. And again, not judging yourself against other people in the social media.
Yeah, which, like you say, I think is a really good thing, because some people would wear a mask absolutely everywhere they go and things like that, and other people wouldn't. But obviously, if you're meeting up with someone else, you need to come to an agreement on those sorts of things. And just to make sure everybody's happy in the situation you're in.
Exactly. And it's about, one thing that I work with people on a lot is we can't control other people. So I can't control you, you can't control me. What I can do is I can control myself. So I can do the things that make me feel safe, and I can have healthy boundaries and go, okay, I'll do this, but I won't do that. And things like that. So I think it's about looking at what we can manage and control, which makes us feel more safe, having nice healthy routines to help our well-being, and that's all really linked, I think.
Fantastic. So obviously there's going to be people listening today thinking, so what can Emma actually do to help relieve my money anxieties? What would she do?
Okay, so when people work with me, they have all different fears and anxieties. But so I work with people in different ways. I have a monthly group which people can join. I do one-to-one coaching. And then I have the social enterprise as well. So there's all different ways you can work with me. And I help people to take control of those things, to look at things from different perspectives, to build confidence and self-esteem, and to manage their worries and put them in perspective.
That sounds really good. So if anybody listening today wanted to get in touch with you to have a chat about their problems and how you may be able to help them, how would they get in contact with you?
So they could visit my website, which is emmaroache.com. And for those who don't know this, my surname is for Roache, because Roach is spelled in many different ways. So you can go to my website, and I'm on lots of different social media as well. But all the links are on my website, so that's the best place to go.
Fantastic. And it's really good to have another Emma with me today.
I know, Emma's rock.
They do indeed. We don't need Becky and Julie today. We just want the Emma show.
This is the Emma show, definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's been lots of fun.
So I've actually missed asking you something really, really important today,
Okay.
Emma. Your recipe for financial success.
Yeah.
And I haven't asked you, what's your favourite recipe?
Well, it's really naughty. I've got lots of recipes that I love, but this is quite a naughty one, and I think it's good to have
Everyone needs a
something
naughty treat.
to cheer. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is like a Nigella recipe,
Right.
and it is minced chocolate mousse. It is amazing.
I think I might have to go make it.
I think you need to make it. It is so nice. And you can make it with, actually, if you make it with white chocolate, it's very, very sweet. You can actually I've sometimes make it with dark chocolate. So I'm a bit of a maverick. I like to
So
do
you don't
my
stick
own.
to a recipe, you'll mix it up and...
Yeah, I just mix it up and do my own thing. So actually with dark chocolate, it's not quite as sweet.
Right.
But it's just as good. So I recommend trying that. And maybe don't have it in quite the portions that Nigella says, maybe a bit smaller, because it is very, very rich and it's a bit sickly, but it's amazing.
Fantastic. I'm definitely going to give that one a go.
Do it.
So we'll pop the recipe for Nigella's mousse on the website that Emma's recommended. Really thank you very much for coming today, Emma.
My pleasure.
And we look forward to you coming on again in future, where we can talk about more specifically different topics, where we may be able to help our listeners.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I've really enjoyed it.
And with that, we've completed today's recipe. We hope you've enjoyed following along with us today and cooking yourself one recipe closer to a financially secure future. If you've enjoyed today's podcast, you can head over to www.recipeforfinancialsuccess.co.uk, where you can find out more information and a full list of ingredients for today's recipe. For more hints, tips and tasters, find us on Facebook at Your Recipe for Financial Success. Thank you for listening, and see you next time.